Okay, so in this video, I'm going to explain something that sometimes happens when you download your data in SPSS or Excel from Qualtrics. Sometimes you might notice that your items that you might have expected to be coded from 1 to 7, like in the case of a Likert scale, or 1 to 5, or 1 to 9, are coded with far larger numbers than you expected, like from 14 to 22 or something like that. You can see here, this question 27 was a Likert scale with several questions, a 1 to 7 Likert scale with several questions. And instead of being coded from 1 to 7, they're quoted with numbers like 15, 19, 20, 21, which makes very little sense. And you might think to yourself, I did not deliberately do anything that I thought would create this change in value label or values in Qualtrics. So why is this happening? And it can be kind of nerve-wracking because you might think, oh no, is the data ruined? Will I not be able to tell which value goes to which scale point? Well, you don't need to worry about that too much, and it actually turns out to be a pretty simple fix, so I'll explain that in this video. So if you notice that in your data downloaded from Qualtrics, you have this problem where scales are recoded to something that you don't understand, you don't know what's happening. The first thing I'll show you is how to know what numbers Qualtrics is coding your data with. So if we just open Qualtrics, this is the scale that is a 1 to 7 Likert scale, and I would have, of course, thought strongly disagree would have been coded 1, and strongly agree would be coded 7, and so on. But as you saw with the data file, that's not what happened. So why didn't that happen? Well, you can see this little X over here. And anytime you see that, it suggests that this might actually occur. So if you click on it, you can see that what's happened is Qualtrics is coding 1 as 14, 2 as 15, 3 as 16, and so on. So what we need to do is two things. First of all, recode our SPSS data to be a 1 to 7 scale instead of this 14 to 20 scale. And then also make sure this doesn't happen in the future when we're collecting data. So first, let's go to SPSS and fix the problem here. So what you'll do is simply click the transform menu, recode into same variables, select over all of those scales which you would like to be from 1 to 7 instead of 14 to 20. Click old and new values, and in this case the old value is going to be 14. That's now going to become 1. 15 is now going to become 2. 16 is going to become 3. 17 is going to become 4. 18 is going to become 5. 19 is 6. And 20 is going to be 7. Add those, click continue, and then just click OK. And you can see now we have the 1 to 7 scale that we had initially expected. So that data is fixed. That's fantastic. And now the second part, making sure it doesn't happen in the future. So what you want to do is just make sure that this recode values isn't set for any questions. So if you ever see this X pop up, click on it, make sure that recode values is unchecked. And sometimes what I just do is go ahead and type in what I expect the numbers to be, and then just close it so that I'm certain that it's going to be correct. What I've noticed, this is especially likely to happen if you've copied questions, or if you've set up a question, a multiple choice question, and then you collected a little data. Maybe not even from participants. Usually it's just you sort of run through the study yourself, or maybe you send it to your lab group so that they run through the study. Qualtrics thinks you've started data collection. You've activated the link and people have run through it. And so then you go back and you want to make changes to the response options, and you change things around. Well, Qualtrics seems to be particularly likely to recode the values when you do that. It no longer goes to the default coding. The first option is 1, and so on. So it's best anytime you copy a survey, and I've even gotten in the habit, even if I just start a new question or start a new survey, I just look through everything, make sure that recode values isn't on and there aren't some funky numbers in there to make sure that my data comes back as I expect it to. Hopefully that's helpful. This is sort of a quick video, but it seems to be a problem that stymies people when they first start working with Qualtrics, so it's good to just have a resource out there so you know what you can do. Thank you so much and happy analyzing!